This is Dennis Peacock with another edition of the Transforum. You're not going to believe this one, folks. Well, maybe you will. You can believe almost anything nowadays. German homeschoolers are fleeing to the United States. One of my friends that I worked with over the years formed a group that deals with the Homeschool Association and providing legal rights for them. And it seems, in fact, it doesn't seem, it's a fact, that a German family is being so persecuted for wanting to homeschool their children, they recently had to flee here to the United States and have come, the Home Legal Defense Association is giving them asylum in Tennessee. Isn't that amazing? Now, the circuit judge who is over that area from the U.S. Department of Immigration has granted temporary asylum to this family because their level of harassment and their civil rights are being so persecuted on a core level of the rights of parents to have a say-so in the education of their children that they have granted them asylum here, at least at this point in time. Now, guess what? The federal level, the senior level, the executive level, and you know where that goes, is now intervening in the case and protesting that we have given asylum to somebody who really feels like it's a basic human right to educate your own children. Now, I'm torn on the Transforum. How much political theory and history do I really get into? I want to do an edition here on our good friend Hegel, the German philosopher, who said, if God exists, he is the state walking on the earth. If you want to know where statism and centralism relative to centralized government came from, a lot of it emanates from this noteworthy German philosopher who greatly influenced Karl Marx. Again, this is all my background academically. Can you imagine that statement, Hegel saying, and millions believing it? If God exists, he is the state walking on the earth. And obviously, one of the very first things that they did in the Soviet Union, Russia, when the revolution occurred, was the state took preeminent ownership of all the children and demanded that the state will educate children, and parents really do not have the ultimate right to the education of their own kids. Well, those of you that are Christians, you know multiple scriptures, not the least of which is Galatians 4:1 and 2, that talks about the right of the parents to select those who tutor their children. That's been a Western idea for a long, long time, but not anymore. The battle here in the U.S. a few years ago over homeschooling was running on the same lines. But thank God we've got some clear-thinking constitutional lawyers who said, don't even think about it. We will have a national uprising, and we'll see what the American people really believe about who owns the kids. I want to ask you, who owns your children? And should we grant asylum to anybody and everybody who believes that the parents own the kids? This is the Transforum, folks. We're talking about the battle in this culture. Let's engage.